I love this room. And I love this room because of the people that come into this room. This Zoom room on its own is just a blank, empty room. But what I've watched over the hundreds of conversations that I've had is the life that's come into this room as people have come into it. Today's experience is a little bit different. Somehow I'm making contact with the woman that's been here just through text messaging, just through messages on Facebook. She came into my room way before she came into my room. And there's something really beautiful about that. I don't know anything about her, but I feel like I know everything about her because of the connection that I already feel with her. There's magic in this world that I want people to at least question. Not question in the way of does it happen or does it not happen, but question whether you experience that magic and how that magic comes. I'm really looking forward to this conversation because we've never spoken to each other. We've never seen each other. We've only just had a couple messages exchanged and a ton of energy. Even as I'm speaking now, I feel a ton of energy coming from her into me. And I'm excited by that energy, just really happy to have it because it resonates so closely to me. Before we go too much further, I want to just acknowledge the sponsor, but I don't want to talk too long about it. The Mosaic is a sponsor of this show. It's the book that sits over my left shoulder. And it's perfectly right that it would sponsor the show. Because the journey that happened was a boy who lost his parents 2 years apart on the same day. And when he asked the adults where his parents were, they told him they were in a place called heaven. So he was just a little boy. He went out and searched for the place called heaven. And the people he met were not the people that you would imagine. They weren't the clergy and the medicine men and women and the rabbis and priests and shamans and Aborigines elders. They were the trash man and the homeless man, the blind woman and the juice man. They were people that were common, ordinary people. And he had to wonder, what am I sitting and meeting these people for? Like, where are the people that are going to show me heaven? But he thought, I'm with them. Why don't I take a moment and just listen to their stories? In every single case, what happened is he listened to them tell their stories. What he realized is the people he initially saw weren't at all who they were right now. And when he had that moment of perceptual shift, where he realized that he may never see anything in the world the way it is. He sees the world the way he is. And what would happen if he got himself out of the way? What would he see? He looks over to his right and he sees a monk unzipping the sky and inviting him into a parallel reality where he's introduced to the wise one, who is the keeper of the mosaic, and he arranges all of the mosaic of this world. That's the trailer to the book. If it interests you, I invite you to get it. It's available on Amazon or on my website. I've fulfilled my obligation now to my sponsor. I have the privilege and the honor of sitting with a dear friend who I've never met before. Jessa Grace, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm excited to be here. I can feel big things happening. I'm almost gonna cry already.
Tell me what you feel, because I also feel so much, and I don't know if it's just. Do you feel that too?
Yeah, it's like a welling up inside of me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's exactly what I feel, and what I say to people in the green room, and I just want to share this with people on the show, is my whole intention here is to just love and accept people, to listen to people and hear them, and to acknowledge and validate them for what they're saying. So you are so easy to do that too.
Thank you.
Tell us who you are. I mean, tell me who you are.
All right. I feel like I haven't told you any of this.
You haven't told me anything.
That's good. So I am Jessa Grace, formerly Jessa Hargrove. I am a newly-ish single mom. I am a business innovator, kind of like a consultant, but not. I am a traveler. I travel a lot. I've lived in a lot of places my life. Currently living in upstate New York, but we moved here from the Caribbean. We spent like 3.5 years living in the Caribbean, bouncing around on the islands. That was fun. And at my core, I'm an observer. I'm a helper. I'm very, very spiritually oriented. My life and my spirituality are one and the same. My work and my spirituality are one and the same. My parenting and my spirituality, one and the same. Pretty much everything revolves around being better than I was yesterday and helping other people do the same.
Beautiful. To those people who are listening, and I'm sure a lot of people are listening now, who would love to have that integration that you have, that would love their life and their spirituality to be commingled in such a way that there is no separation between them. I have a sense of what you're talking about. I know what that experience is like. But to those people who don't know what that experience is like, how did that happen for you?
Bravery. Taking a lot of risks that could have gone the wrong way. I just said, I want this, and I went and I got it. Yes, it wasn't that easy. Yes, I do quickly manifest these sorts of things for myself, but I chose this for myself, and I grew into it. As I grew into my spirituality and had my awakenings, I was like, wait, no, this is my reality all over, not just when I'm at the office or when I'm at home or when I'm, meditating. My life is a meditation. Therefore, I can put it wherever I want it to be. So like, for example, my business and my spirituality, one and the same. You talk to any of my clients, you actually spoke with one the other day. You're going to speak with another one next week. They will tell you that everything that I do for them is completely channeled for them. There's no system that I give to somebody. There are bits and pieces of advice, but it's completely channeled for them through me. I am just the tool, the conduit, the vehicle for them. And I am the vehicle for everything else in my life, for what I cook, where I go, what I decide to read. I am the vehicle. So I am the observer. So if I'm just observing, that means I'm having no judgment, no attachment, completely equanimity. That's the word that I like to use. And that helps me to be brave enough to say, no, I'm going this way. See you guys over there. I'm going to go this way now. And do it, create my own paradigm, and then help other people to do the same for themselves. That way, there's more ripples, not just mine. And that helps me be brave because now there's more proof of concept. Like, okay, this works. This is something that is good. I'm not just crazy or making this all up in my head. So having the witnessing helps me to be brave as well. There are so many other ways to be brave with your spirituality. And I think that's important. If you're going to define yourself as brave, not spiritual, because your spirituality is growing and you don't even know what it is until you're done, right? It's a journey. So being brave is really the biggest thing. Decide, go do it, and give yourself all of the things that you need to nurture and nourish yourself, your spirituality, and your decisions so that they feed you rather than become work. And if it's not hard, it's a lot easier to be brave as well.
Yeah. So for those of you who are listening, have you ever heard that perspective before? And if you haven't, what a fresh, beautiful perspective. How beautiful to just live your life being brave. And I hear some of you saying, but I'm scared to be brave. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to be hurt. I was brave before and I've fallen down and I've hurt myself. Jess, so what do you say? What do you say to people who want to be brave, but have been hurt so many times in their attempt to be brave?
You've got a
stop being brave.
100% success rate to this date. You have a 100% success rate. Just keep going, keep doing it. And I heard another quote the other day that I was just triggered to bring in. When it comes to being brave, especially when it's something that we could lose, that's usually the thing that we're afraid of, losing something, right? If it's easier to count what it is that you might be losing, like money, time, if it's easier to do that than to even envision what you might be gaining, then it's a perspective thing. If you're too worried about losing things And yeah, I don't want to lose things. I don't want to lose my children, my house, and my job, my career, my clients. I don't want to lose any of it. But I can feel that energy, like we were talking about before, the exchange of energy. I can feel it with my potential. And
Yeah.
if I feel that, and I have to be honest with myself, being brave is being honest, saying, this is scary, but I'm going to do it anyways. If I'm honest with myself, I believe that I can do this. If I'm honest with myself, yeah, there's a chance I could lose something, might not work out. But if I'm honest with myself, I know that I'm resilient. I was put here to be resilient. We all were. We all have resiliency. We have it in our mechanisms, everything from our ways of just instinct and our immune systems and all of that. We're resilient. We're going to make it. It's going to be okay. And having that sense of intention with it is really important. So if you're more worried about what you're going to lose, then you need to change something else. You need
Yeah.
to believe something else. It's maybe not for you. If you can't feel yourself in the success, it's probably not going to be anywhere near the success that you even could do if you did believe it, if you felt it and were in that energy exchange with it.
I love everything you're saying. And I love that you are really challenging the people that are listening to really be brave. Because being brave doesn't mean that I know I'm going to succeed.
No,
Being,
that's not bravery. That's just crazy.
being brave. So talk on that. You're saying it, so let me hear it from you.
So people who are brave, and my 7-year-old, I tell him this often when we talk about Spider-Man and bravery and all of that. Like, being brave means you are scared. The more scared you are, the more brave you have the opportunity to be. And when you're brave like that, people look at you like, wow, okay, not this person's going to save my life, save my day, but that person's got some resiliency that I could tap into, share that energy with them.
And
So
I even love...
if you're not scared, you're just crazy. You're a lunatic. You're a narcissist or something.
Yeah.
You gotta be scared about life. That's what keeps us moving. That's what keeps the energy flowing. And bravery is not about being too strong to fail, I guess, because failure is part of it.
Yeah. I love the integration of terms that seem so easily integrated when they come out of your mouth, but I just want to highlight some of those.
Okay.
And the terminology of resilience, because resilience, you don't need to be resilient if you always succeed.
Right. That's not
right. So the bravery takes resilience, because you in your attempt to be brave, you may fall down. You may it may hurt you. You may scar your knee. You may injure your being, but you're resilient enough to get back up and try and be brave again. Mm-hmm. And it's the life of bravery that leads to the life of spirituality, because you're taking the risks that most people don't take.
Right.
Is that what you're saying, sort of?
That's pretty much it. You just wrote my memoir for me. Thanks. Yeah, just being brave, having that resiliency, and trusting yourself. Trust and bravery, very, very big things. If you want to integrate your spirituality so that you can have these things, you can manifest so much more for yourself, literally like this if you want to, when you're fully integrated. When your spirit and you are fully integrated, you are embodying 24 hours a day, it's a lot more fun and it's a lot easier to be brave when you feel supported and comforted, even if it doesn't work out all the time.
Can you do me a favor and go back in time to that moment where you didn't know what you know now? Where you found yourself in that transition time, where you discovered what you discovered, and the hesitations you had to doing that. Can you find that time for me?
I would say, yeah. Oh, that was tough. I was about 24. I was living in New York City. I had just gotten back to New York from living in Thailand for 3 years. And I was living there and working as an international model and living that lifestyle, just too much playing, not enough eating or resting, and, just runway shows and clothes, all of that. Very surface level life. And it was during this time when I was there that I started to feel myself opening up a little bit. I would have late night conversations with friends and their minds would just be like blown. There was one time I had a conversation with someone about truth, right? And he was like, how do you just know? I'm like a walking lie detector. I just know when somebody's bullshitting me. And I said, it's like if you walk into a room and the TV is on, but on mute, you know the TV is on, right? And that was when I started to realize, oh my gosh, this is all just coming out of me. I'd never heard of that before. So that's when I started realizing that things like channeling and energy and all of that were for me, I guess. They're not just crazy things that, the occult read about.
Right.
So that was when I started to really change how I am, who I am, what I am. I decided modeling is not for me anymore. I just can't
Pause
do
1 minute. Pause 1 minute. Let me slow down, because what was the first thing that you changed? Because there's some people now that are listening that are right in that place.
Yeah, I quit modeling. I changed everything. I quit modeling. I got a divorce. I moved back to New York City and I started my own business.
Wow.
All within like 3 weeks.
Those are huge changes.
Everything changed. And none of it was aligned with what my truth was. And my truth was literally trying to fall out of me when I was living the opposite of my truth. I couldn't hide from it. It just kept coming out. So I was like, no, this is, I can do it. So I was brave. Granted, I was brave with a lot of money in the bank, so I could do it. I didn't have to get, oh, now what do I do? I'm homeless. So I still had my apartment in Soho and just moved everything around and got a dog. I got a dog too.
But still, that took, whether you had money to live on for a certain amount of time or not, you didn't know what the future was going to hold. You just knew that you had these feelings that you had to act on, that you trusted and you were brave enough to do.
Sorry, the boys are here. You want to say
That's
hi?
okay.
Say hi.
Hey guys. Hey, Batman.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Right?
Mm-hmm. So I am.
You are brave.
You are brave.
I'm teacher because I'm brave.
Okay, you can have it.
That's cool. So, like, having money in the bank certainly helps to take risks.
Mm-hmm.
What was the biggest challenge you had in taking that risk?
Actually, the follow through was tough. I came up with some resistance, especially with quitting the modeling. I had a contract. They're like, no, we make money from you. You make money from, no, you have a contract. So I had to get creative. There are certain ways you can break a contract, like gaining a lot of weight, or there's a couple of things. One of them was cutting your hair. I had long hair. I was like, well, I'm not going to gain weight. No, thank you. I'm going to go cut my hair. So I cut my hair short into a little pixie cut. And I went into the agency and the one agent was furious. He was like, I can't believe you did this. No. And then a photographer came into the office, took one look at my hair, and he was like, that's the one I want. And I was like, it's not what I wanted. I wanted out of my contract, not deeper into it. So I had to find ways to, as I was trying to integrate into my truth, I had to get creative. I had to get really kind of like, I'm going to just tweak this energy over here for now until I get it to where I want it to be. So I said, okay, fine. I'm not going to, do anything crazy. I'm not going to break my contract, but I just want to change some things. I'm not going to casting calls anymore. I'm not going to go stand in line with my book and hope that everybody likes the way that I look. I'm not doing that anymore. If they want me, they call you and they book me, and that's it. And it worked. I got more jobs. More jobs. And so I was like, okay, I'm stuck in the industry, stuck in the fashion industry. So I decided that what I wanted to do was use the fashion industry as leverage. So I started my own business, and it was a media marketing sort of business for the fashion industry in New York City. I knew all of the clients. They all knew me. I was their model. So I just said, I'll be your model if you let me put my hat in the ring to do your media. I gave them a proposal. One of them bit. And now it all went from there to more clients and more ideas. And then the online started happening more. So I switched my business from marketing and media and print to online. And now here we are. Like 10 years later.
So is that what you do now? I mean, what is the business side of what you do that you've spiritualized?
So when I started my business, it was very technical, very like, this is there, and this is that, and here's how you do that. And then I went into the online world again for, I don't know, this was like 5 years ago now, maybe less. And I started just being the marketing girl, banks and daycares and, that sort of thing. Just, it was a job. It was a job. And the rest of my world was starting to come together. I got married, two kids, all of that. And then I had another huge awakening about 3 years ago. And it's been rapid pace since. Like every day it's a new awakening, it feels like. So that's when I took my model away from how to, and I'm just going to do it for you. So now I help people find their truth in their business so that they can integrate their life and their business. So one of my biggest things is your spirituality, your spiritual gifts, and your purpose are meant to go together. They're meant to. They were built to. They're built to be perfect matches for one another. You just have to find it, and you have to be brave enough to go in that direction.
So let me see if I can say something, because I'm just going to lob something over the net.
Okay.
Because everything that you say makes so much sense for what you actually are doing. And yet I feel from you a component that we've never worked together, we've never played together, we've never done anything. But I feel an energy that is increased in me through the knowing of you.
The familiarity?
Yeah, just
the truth. That's what it
is. And so you acknowledge that, yes?
Yeah, I feel it.
And you feel it from me as well, right?
Yeah.
And so it isn't only that you help people to align themselves, but there's almost in the familiarity of the interaction, your words, not I would say almost in the energy of the interaction that happens, almost of inviting your presence in.
Mm-hmm. Take a little piece of it. Have it.
That
That's
people...
the way that my energy works is you can have it. I can literally give it to you. Here you go. My gift to you. Have fun. I have so much of it. I can literally give it.
Yeah. And tell me I can tell you what I feel, which I'm happy to do, but tell me what people have told you they feel when you give a little piece of yourself to them, which is over and above you helping them to integrate their spirituality, right?
There are two words that people use a lot, grace and grit. Get a little bit of grace, a little bit of ease, and a lot of grit. You put these two things together, and then people just kind of feel like they're lifted up. Okay, I can open my chest a little bit, take in this truth, be a little afraid, but go gracefully and see how it goes, see how it works.
Are there moments when you're just petrified?
Oh, God, yeah. Oh my God, yes. Yeah, there have been a few, especially in the last 2 years or so. Yeah, it's been a rough 2 years for our family, but we're resilient and we have each other in our love. So, but yeah, there are times where I'm petrified. There are times where I'm afraid and I don't go forward. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
But then there are times that come after that where I'm like, I should have just done it then because now I'm stuck here doing it now.
Yeah.
I should have done it then.
I'm going to share something that I think happened when we met each other also.
Okay.
That I would love you to correct if I'm not right. Okay?
Okay.
I met you by feeling you first, not by knowing you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even really know how we came in contact with each other.
I don't remember.
Right? I just felt you somehow.
Yeah.
And I think I reached out and said something to you. And I'm empathic quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt you a few days after that in not as strong a place as I normally feel you.
Yeah, and you sent me some really much needed energy.
And you felt that.
I felt it. Yeah, it was perfect timing. I just gotten off the phone with my lawyer and it did not go well.
So what I want people to contemplate for themselves is how it's possible that people who don't know each other can just feel each other can send energy to each other, can feel each other back and forth. Because what I find is most of the time people give a lot, like you give a lot. They're not very good at receiving.
Yeah. That was a big one for me to learn. That was a big awakening for me, to receive with ease. Yeah.
Tell us about that, because I bet there's a lot of people listening.
Especially empaths. We have a hard time receiving. I grew up with, that's a whole nother story. I grew up with a very difficult childhood, very difficult. And because of that, I had a lot of fear of abandonment, fear of loss, fear of failure. And my way of relating with other people in the world was very skewed. Like, okay, if I do just this, just right, maybe they'll like me. And so I had to really, that self-worth just wasn't there. And the more I worked through that, and it took me years to even acknowledge the fact that it was my self-worth that was the problem. Like, oh, maybe I'm bipolar, I don't know. What do I do? It was my self-worth. And the more I worked through and around my self-worth, the more there was room to receive. And I didn't even need to actually receive. I could just turn it on. Be like, it's on, I can receive. It's like having a river with a big rock in the middle of it. You take the rock out, it's gonna smooth the whole path all the way through. So that self-love is something that in the beginning, I had to really work on it, convincing myself, literally had to convince myself until I rewired everything around it. Instead of looking at this, I rewired everything around it. I had gratitude around everything, including my issues with self-worth. And then everything started to move and shake a little bit to really nurture that self-worth so that it was evident. It was just evident. It was true. It was almost like a familiarity that I had with self-love when I experienced it for the first time.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I want you to hear, as you're listening, listeners, the honesty and the vulnerability that Jess is showing us. And I want you to just see that it's possible to present yourself in a way that is spiritual, that integrates spirituality and business, and yet still be vulnerable and open. And one of the things that really moved me about you and really I appreciated about you was how willingly and completely you accepted the energy that I gave you. And that it was, you didn't know me enough to know whether you could or not, but you felt something and exactly the same. I didn't know you at all, but I could feel you inside me. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, because we were both receiving.
Yeah.
We were both giving. We were both receiving. Because I wasn't sending you my vibes. You just tapped into it because you were receiving it. Yeah. And that's how my energy is. Anybody who's open to receiving my energy can just, all of you listening right now, here, take some. Take some for yourself. There's enough in there for everyone. That's just how my energy moves throughout existence.
Yeah.
So I was open in receiving. You were open in receiving. We kind of bumped into each other like, oh, hey, energy. Hi.
Yeah.
And then when you offered to send something intentional, of course, I'm feeling your energy. I'm feeling that feels tender. That feels wise, sage, kind, caring. Yes, I'll have some of that. I can, however, not receive.
Yeah.
And so I love that about myself, is that I can turn it off. But I wouldn't know how to turn it off if I didn't know how to turn it on in the first place. So all those decades that I spent not loving myself is actually now a tool that I can use to protect my energy.
Yeah. There's so much richness in what's being said here that I want you to play it back. And I'm capturing just a few moments of things with what I want to say. But there's something so unique in what I think we've just discovered here about each other, which maybe you've known and it's unique for me. But in a normal interaction, you think there's a giving and a receiving, and both people are giving and both people are receiving. I think it's really interesting, this idea that neither one of us was really giving or receiving. We were just who we were. Mm-hmm. And we were open to receive. And from that, we were able to receive something that was not even being given, but was just there, what was just there for us to have.
Exactly. It's like when it rains, it's just raining. The earth is not receiving it. The sky is not giving it. It's just raining. That's all.
Yeah.
And it works. It helps the symbiosis keep flowing.
Yeah, I might say that the earth is receiving it, but it's not because someone's actually giving it. It's just
Right.
it's receiving what's abundantly there
It
to
can't
be
not
received.
receive. It can't say no thank you.
Right, right.
It can't not. So to receive, it's an option. And if we're open to it, we can have it. You see what I mean?
100,000%. And I hope the listener hears that too. Because there's something that happens when we are not courageous, to go back to where we were talking. There's something that happens when we shut down because we're scared.
Mm-hmm.
When we have pain and we allow ourselves to be siloed in our own self.
Yeah.
That doesn't allow us to receive what's actually right in the air around us to give to us.
The fear is the one thing that will shut that down. It shuts down your self-love, because the number one trigger of fear, and the thing that keeps, especially when I'm afraid, keeps me in this loop, is that inner critic.
Yeah.
The inner critic does not love me. The inner critic is like, who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah.
So having that inner critic shut off because you're brave means that you can come back into that, okay, you know what? This is scary. But look at this. I'm doing it. I'm doing a pretty good job of it, it feels like.
Yeah.
Right? So there's my self-love. I'm like, okay, I got this. Grace and grit, you've got this, you've got this. There's my self-trust. And my self-trust leads to my self-love, which opens me up to receiving.
So this is so interesting, because normally we look to have somebody to lean upon when we feel that we need some energy, and we all have that. I mean, that's why people come to you, because they want to take a little piece of you, right? And yet there's something that seems to be said that we don't even need a person to take a piece of, because it's right there for us anyway. We only need the person to take a piece of until the moment we realize it's all there for us anyway. And when that door is opened, we can have it without the person even being there. But the person being there is always there.
Yeah.
Who's the person? Who's the person you go to lean on? Do you have somebody you go to lean on?
A couple people. Yeah. I have such a good, I have a small circle, but it's a great circle. I have my mentor. Her name is Dr. Tiana Conti. She's amazing. She's one of my favorite people. I have my closest, dearest friends, none of them local. Actually, I've only met one of these people in person.
Wow.
But yeah, they have a lot of people who are, they look at me and they see younger version of myself. I get that a lot. Yeah. Somebody's like, are you sure we're not related? Are you sure we're not sisters? They're older, sage, wise leaders in the spirituality, self-development industries, and just are there to hold space for me while I get to where they're at.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't even know if it's while you get to where they're at, but because I think you may be where they're at already, but that's okay. But it's just, I think we all need somebody to hold the space for us to be courageous, because sometimes
I think it's important, because if you're not being witnessed, it's that reflection that's important for me and my growth.
Yeah.
I need to be witnessed. I need somebody to acknowledge, yes, you're growing, or yes, you are on the right path, or you know what, you said you were going to do it that way, now you're doing it this way. What's up with that? I need that reflection. I need to have somebody pace me so that I don't just spiral out and go do like I often do. I have like 900 things that I'm doing, and one of them might get done. I don't know.
Right.
And having that growth, have it be intentional. Like these people, we intentionally grow all the time, always calling each other with ahas and sending energy and practicing and just always growing, no matter what. So that what is it? That rule of thumb: have 5 people that really are good in your life. I have those 5, and they are all epic human beings that if I didn't even know them, I don't think that I would be anywhere near as whole and complete and fast moving as I am.
So is that what you then give to the people who come to you?
Yes. The
Hesitation.
reflection,
What was the hesitation?
well, because it's different for everyone. Some people don't need that. They've got that in their worlds for them. Some people just need some comfort. Some people just need that comforting energy. Some people want to just know, how do I do this? I have my favorite clients are the ones who come to me to rewire, just completely rewire. It's what I call what I've done for myself, rewired. And so that I can have that abundance and can have that calm and that grace and that grit at the same time. So when I give people something, it's morphogenetic, I guess we'll say. It's what they need and however they need it, pretty much. It can be channeled, it can be a gift, it can be, who knows what it could be. It could be a lovely conversation like this, who knows? But it's exactly what they need, and probably just a little bit after they needed it, but we're working on it.
What's the one thing you're scared of, if you're scared of anything?
Yeah, I'm scared of a lot of things. I am afraid of disappearing, I guess, of not making the impact that I need to while I'm here and not having that be complete. What I do is amazing and I love myself very much, but I feel like there's something big and I'm on my way towards it. I'm very afraid of not getting there and then falling back to sleep. That's not going to be cool. I don't want that. I'm also, I'm a mom. I have a lot of fear around my children. I don't want them to get hurt, anything like that.
It's funny because I'll just say this on camera, but I would be more comfortable talking about it off camera. I feel like I want to help you get seen.
Oh, wow.
And so I want you to sit with that and see what that feels like for you. Because that's a really what?
That's a big receive. I just got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I felt it from the first time that I interacted with you, and I don't know what that meant. Like I'm not like it's not a sales call. It's not anything like that. It's a just what seems like it's the right thing to have happen.
This is.
Hey, what's happening? You know what I want? I would like one day for you to make me a peanut butter and cheese sandwich. Will you do that for me?
Yeah, he saw your peanut butter and cheese sandwich.
You don't know me from Adam. Why would you make me a peanut butter and cheese sandwich?
I don't know. Go on. I'll get you some chips in a bit, okay? Thank you, sweetie.
He made a video that I saw on your site that just for people who don't have any idea why I'm saying that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What do you think's keeping you? You're so in touch with who you are. What do you think's keeping you from being seen?
Not a lot. I am seen quite a bit.
Yes.
I have taken a hiatus. This is actually my first interview I've done in almost a year.
Wow.
I needed to rewire. I got getting in the middle of a divorce, moving back to the States from the Caribbean, COVID, a lot of things that I'm using as excuses, yes, have come up. And I took the time to really, first of all, celebrate the fact that this pandemic isn't a huge issue for me. I'm comfortable, conscious, healthy, living right by the river, lots of outdoor space. I've got it better than a lot of people right now. So yes. I want to just sit with that, be with the kids, manage this whole custody thing that we're going through and all of that.
Can I have this?
Yes, go upstairs. Thank you. And so for me, the not being seen, not being heard thing was more of a rewiring for myself, finding a new truth. I completely revamped my business again, of even further towards the spirituality and the rewiring, and even further away from the how to post on Facebook kind of thing. Really leaning forward into that embodiment even more, and honing my message with it. And things like this, opportunities like, being seen and having the reflection from somebody like you helps me to embody it, to really transmute it all the way through my being, so that I can go out there and just channel and answer questions like this.
I love that. And I love that whatever small part I play in that process, if I've already played it or still to come, that I'm play a part in that process. Because
Thank you.
when I see people along the way that I want the world to see, I want to help the world see them. And so it's unique what's happened between you and me, I think. It may not be unique to you, but it's unique to me to find somebody who does so much what I do that it's so similar.
Yeah, it's fun to kind of find your other body.
Yeah.
There's an everybody, another body, and it's interesting to see the tribe come together, even because my closest people, even we're like, I did not know that there were other people like me out there. I thought I
Yeah.
was crazy, that
Yeah.
I was just like this one random person. But now, especially as the collective energy of our entire existence, the whole planet comes together, you find us kind of bumping into each other.
Yeah.
Hi, you're familiar, but I don't know anything about you.
100%.
It's really incredible if we're open to it, then we're going to receive the people that deserve to be in our space and the people who can help us grow our own.
What do you most need now, if you were to think about it? Both of these are super important.
Okay.
Do you want the platform for you to be able to have what you're doing be heard and seen and your message get out there?
Yeah, what I need is, so I have an audience. I have quite the large audience. But they are, how do I put this? They all see me, but they are not the people who are ready. Because what I built before this new transition was for how to do this. Why, not why, but it was more like a how to, this is how you set up a Facebook page, or this is how you write a post, or here's some energy ideas. And now that I've gone further and further into this direction, I've lost quite a few of these people because they're not keeping pace, and they don't have to. That's totally fine. I had a whole collective of coaches, certified coaches who were certified by me, under me, who just kind of disappeared into the wind. They're like, I don't get it. I need you to tell me what to do.
Right.
That's what they want me to do, rather than channeling for them and guiding them. They're like, just tell me what to do in what order, and I'll do it.
Yeah.
So it's a new paradigm that I built for myself. And so now I just need to keep pace and keep showing up and keep sharing and keep moving.
Yeah. And everything that we're saying is so relevant and I want the listener to even hear how even in the belief system of this new belief system, how still there are challenges and there's still the need to be courageous. There's still
where you grow. It happens, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing, because I couldn't still work the same way that I did 6 months ago. I just wasn't feeling it. I even did a live on my page. I'm like, this is changing, and this is why. This is what's going on here. It's important to realize that you are meant to outgrow right now. You are meant to outgrow this.
Yeah.
It's really important. And the reason that I changed my way of working, I could show you how to have a really big Facebook group. But if you don't have, I need to reverse the script a little bit further, because if you don't have this mindset, this ability to do you, then everything else I could teach you how to build a website right now. I could do it in like 15 minutes even. But if you don't have all of this in you, your truth, your bravery, your story, your brand, your energy, if you can't tap into that, anything that you're going to make is not going to work as well as it's meant to.
Yeah.
Where are you coming from, not where are you going?
Yeah.
Because the getting, that's easy. I could do that in my sleep. This is what needs to happen. It's not what am I doing? It's why, how, rather than here, this is how you build a Facebook group. No. What's it about? Who is this person? What is the truth?
And I didn't even know that part of you even existed when we're meeting now. I only knew this energy part of you that existed, that I felt. And I've had a beautiful life and the ability to be able to be with some of the richest people in the world, to sit at their dining room tables and to meet their parents, to play on the floor with their children. And I've also had the greatest opportunity to sit with some of the poorest people the world's ever seen. I've had dinner with them on their cardboard boxes. And though the meals have been different in different places, the feeling was never different. Both of them have been kind enough to give me counsel. Both of them have been kind enough to ask for counsel. And what I saw in every single case, no matter what happened, was that every single one of them wanted to be loved and accepted, listened to and heard, acknowledged and validated. And when I realized that I could do that for people, I realized that that gift is something that's sorely lacking in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the ability to do that is just the ability to really allow what people are not to fall off.
Yeah.
And allow what they, and allow who they, and when what we're not falls off, who we are emerges.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's always beautiful.
there's something really beautiful in that. But there's something that I've learned with you in the practice of you with you, which is there is an effortless exchange of energy that lifts both people at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That is really intriguing to me.
Yeah, it's not like that with everybody, I'll be honest. I do have a number of people that we are just constantly sharing our energy, always receiving. But in general, the world doesn't open like that. There are a lot of people who are not brave. There are a lot of people who don't love themselves enough to even receive. There are a lot of people who give lots of energy, not always good energy either, but they're not conscious of their truth. So your truth is your energy. You can know somebody's truth by their energy. And if you're not conscious of your truth, then you don't really have much to give. It's just a static sound, I guess.
Yeah. What do you think has been the biggest lesson for you, or the biggest thing that you've seen by being able to receive and being able to listen?
Things move really fast when you are in this state. Change happens really fast. Energy grows very quickly. Things manifest like, oh, hi, I wasn't ready for that yet. Can you give it to me next week, please? Yeah. Things move very quickly. They move at the speed of truth. And the more you are in that space, truth travels fast. Yes, a lie will travel far. Yes, but a truth, ooh, that gets out there. Like, oh, did you hear? You know, gossip moves far, but it doesn't move fast. It moves slowly and it gets all garbled up, right? But a truth, that's going to go. And it travels very, very quickly. And that energy, the energy of truth means this is it. Let's go. This is it. This is it. I don't know. Maybe let's think about this. No, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. And what I would add to that, if I could, and I would like your thoughts on it, it doesn't only move fast, it moves deep.
Yeah, it really.
Like gossip can move fast too, but it just stays surface.
Yeah.
What happens with truth is the speed of the truth moves, but it almost pulverizes anything that is inside of you.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
I like that. It feels good in my body.
Yeah. For me also. You've said a lot, and I want to honor your time, and I see you've got people calling on you. I hope this will only be the beginning of our conversations, not the end.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling this is going somewhere.
Me too. I would love to ask you in the last couple of minutes that remain. You have now a platform for people to hear what you want to say. You've already said a lot of it.
Yeah.
But what's something you would like to give them that you haven't given them yet?
I don't know. Depends on what they need. Again, I'm a very open book. If anybody has questions or just wants a piece of it, reach out to me. I'm here. I'm available. I'm known for my ingenuity and my generosity. So I'm here.
I love that. And Jessa, you're going to send me your headshot. You're going to send me all your social media links, or someone's going to do that for you.
I can do that, yeah.
Please do that, so that I really want people to get in touch with this woman. I really want you to to share in all the beauty that is. And I want, what could be more beautiful than two strangers coming into a room and having other strangers watch and learn something from it and grow from it and have something happen as a result of it, right?
Be a ripple. Let's do this.
Let's do a ripple and let's do it. Again, thank you for coming. For those of you who are listening, thank you for being here with us. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I still feel something really deeply within my body.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it feels really, really beautiful and really nice and really tender and really good. And I know I'm going to sit with this for a while and just allow it to be here with me. And I thank you for that. I thank those of you who have listened for listening, for giving us your most valuable asset of your time. And I want to challenge you in a way that I can't say before Jessa walked into this room, I didn't know who she was because I had a sense of her from interactions. But before we interacted through text, through Facebook messaging or whatever it was, I had no idea the woman even existed, and she had no idea I existed either. And yet, what's happened is that's deepened very quickly. And I feel her very, very deeply. And so when you have the courage to reach out to someone you don't know, especially if you feel something in you driving you to do that, reach out to those people you don't know. Just spend time with them and ask them how they are. Allow them to enter into you. Allow Jessa right now to enter into you, because I feel as I'm speaking, she's just pouring energy out. Allow her to enter into you in the quiet of her space of just being here and being with us. Allow that to happen, and allow yourself to see what becomes of you through the allowance of that happening. I want to thank you for being here. Jess, is there one thing left that you want to say? Is there anything left you want to say that you haven't said?
Go be brave.
Go be brave. Okay. So friends, go out there and make the world a friendly place. When the world's full of strangers, it becomes a strange place. But when the world's full of friends, just as easy as just taking time to check in with them, how you doing, the world becomes a friendly place, and those friends make the world a friendly place. Make the world into a friendly place. Be kind to each other, love each other. Use your intuition and know who you can trust. And when you find someone you can trust, invite them in and give of yourself to them as also as well. Until the next stranger walks into this room, I want to thank you again for being here, and just live kind in a beautifully friendly world. Ciao.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.